North Berwick. Now, the last time you would have seen us on our walking adventures, you may have noticed the last time you saw us we went in North Berwick. Don't worry, you haven't missed a video. We have a bit of catching up to do. We are all the way in October now, and we've been quite busy in the intervening months. We've been on holiday, we have been on a Disney cruise, we are who we are, but we have also completed the previous section, which was Prestonpans to here in North Berwick. So before we tell you any more about today's walk, let's rewind back to, I was going to say a few weeks ago, but actually a couple of months ago now, and pick things up in Prestonpans. Oh, this stretch along the coast is just absolutely magical. We saw some people swimming, and with their wetsuits on, that water will be cold. Lots of seagull chicks, lots of waves crashing, very Little Mermaid. I'm loving it. It is absolutely gorgeous. All of these coastal sections have been an absolute treat. It really feels like this whole walking route, right from starting back in Helensburgh, it feels like every section has been a level up from the one before. Would you agree with that?
Almost. The sections here can't tell if it's not severe.
No, but they're Red Highland cows.
They're Red Highland cows, yes.
I couldn't resist a wee walk down onto the beach. And there we have Ross demonstrating one of the finest aspects of the East Lothian sections of this walking trail, which is the abundance of beach benches. Is this a good bench?
It's a good bench.
I will join you on this bench. So we're just going to sit here for a few minutes and enjoy these coastal views while we can. I think the trail is going to turn up shortly and certainly leave the beach behind for a little bit. I'm expecting to walk through a little bit of woodland and then turn up off the coast for a little bit before we rejoin it, just as we head towards North Berwick. Normally I would give you an update at this point about how many miles we've walked, what time it is, but the best thing about this walk is I have no idea. We're just walking and enjoying the views. Not a care in the world right now. Okay, we've just stopped and had some lunch on a bench at Longnidroo Beach. I have had worse views for lunch, just incredible scenery down here, it's so amazing. But I've just popped on to talk about, not a very popular subject, but I do have to say it, the sheer volume of convenient and spotlessly clean public toilets on this section of the trail is absolutely blowing my mind. I think this must be our fourth since Prestonpans, including the one in Prestonpans. It's just been amazing. And as we always say, if you're on the John Muir Way, if you see a toilet, use the toilet, because sometimes it is a big long gap between your next one. But I can't say that about these East Lothian stretches. I would say the facilities, the benches, the scenes, just absolutely amazing. So we're just having a quick rest stop here and then we are back on the trail. It is around about 3:30. We've just stopped in at Archerfield Walled Garden for some cake, some Coca-Colas to revive me, because I'm not going to lie, I was starting to struggle a little bit. The weather has turned, but we were expecting a little bit of a downpour at this time, which is pretty good, to be honest. It has been quite a warm, muggy day today, so this will hopefully cool things down a little bit for us. We don't have that far to go now. What did you say we had left? About
3 miles?
3 miles? Oh, last 3 miles. and we should hopefully be rejoining the coast in a mile or so. So last 3 miles to go of stage 9. We did manage to get the all important stamp in our passport as well. 1 more stamp to go. Let's do this. And if you are in the area, I do highly recommend a visit to Archerfield Walled Garden. It's sort of a farm shop, but probably more elevated than the ones we typically go to. Yeah, it's a little bit on the fancier side, but it's a lovely restaurant with a really good looking menu. I had a lovely scone and roasted a donut, but they do cooked food up until 3 PM and the menu looked great. But really beautiful restaurant inside, really lovely shop to wander around. Just a generally nice place for a rest on the trail, but we've already said we're going to bring the car out and just go for lunch one day. Preferably not filthy off the trail would be nice. But yeah, lovely wee stop. Highly recommend whether you're walking this trail or just out in this general area. One thing I have learned about East Lothian, people play a lot of golf here. It feels like this is the 100th golf course we've passed. As you can see, the rain is persistent. We don't have too much further to go, I don't think. And we're getting some really clear signs that we're pretty much almost there. You might not be able to see on the camera because of the rain and the clouds, but I can see Bass Rock up ahead. And behind the trees we've got a pretty good view of the North Berwick Loch, so I don't think we've got too much further to go. We are probably going to take the trail to Yellow Craigs Beach and then we'll make our way to the railway station from there, and then we'll pick up next week, or next video I should say. It probably won't be next week for us, but on the next video we'll pick up back in North Berwick and make our way across the final stage all the way across to Dunbar. Here we are, we have made it to North Berwick, our final destination for today. If you look just round the side of that building there, Bass Rock is peeking out. We are absolutely drenched, we are absolutely exhausted, but we have made it. Only one more section of the John Muir Way to go. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of bonus footage because the weather is absolutely rotten, so you're not going to see North Berwick to its full advantage here. But we were actually here last summer to take a boat trip out to Bass Rock, which has some of the best wildlife spotting that Scotland has to offer. So do stay tuned for some bonus features at the end. You can come with us out on the boat to Bass Rock on a much nicer day than the one that we're having just now. somewhat clearer today in North Berwick than the last time we were here. As Ross has just pointed out, just looking over the heads of the golfers there with Bash Rock in the distance, a lot clearer to see which of the rocks is which today. And a much prettier view of North Berwick. So, this is actually the final section of the John Muir Way-ish. This section is roughly around 15 miles. It will take us from North Berwick to Dunbar, which is the final end point of this walking trail. We don't know what today's going to bring. It has been a little bit of a gap since our last walk, so first time out on the trail since August. We're going to play it by ear today. In an ideal world, I'd like to just go all the way over to Dunbar today and just finish it in one section, but we are going to see how things are by the time we get to East Linton, which is roughly about halfway. We'll see what the weather's doing, we'll see how we feel. If we're absolutely shattered by then we might just pick it up. Either way, you'll see the full final section in this video. We'll just pick it up on another day if we come back. But it looks as if we're going to have a glorious day. My kind of weather. It's cold at last, it's sunny, hopefully stays dry. So let's get in there. It occurs to me that we are coming in this way in North Berwick. All the times we've been to North Berwick before, it has either been raining and rain and cloudy, or when we arrived early in the morning, when we went on the boat trip, the heart had come in and you couldn't see any of this walking in. You were just walking through the mist. So it's actually very nice to see it nice and clear on this day. You will probably hear it is quite windy. We are expecting fairly strong winds today. We'll see how we get on. But for me personally, as you know, I'm not a summer person. This is much more my speed. It's about 5 degrees just now.
And it won't get warmer.
It's not going to get much warmer. So yeah, I'm a lot more comfortable in these temperatures than I've been on our previous walks. So this is going to take us, I think, through some of the high street in North Berwick. Maybe a little bit along the coast. I don't think we'll be much along the coast today. And then it's going to be over farmland, so the sea is talking today. Let's have a look. Oh, it's very dramatic. I'm looking forward to this. This should be a good walk today. A wee touch on the blustery side this morning.
This is light winds.
Now we could take a detour and climb up the North Berwick Law, but we're not going to. I'm okay enjoying the view from down here. That's a job for another day, I think. This is just a pleasant autumn walk. That looks steep. But kidding aside, the route will take us around the bottom of the Law before we start to then leave North Berwick behind and head into some country lanes and fields. I think we're about 1 kilometre in or so at this point. Now we're not doing a particularly fast paced start. We've dawdled through North Berwick a little bit. Absolutely gorgeous place. Stopped to look at some of the North Berwick in bloom displays and had the all important visit to Greg's to fuel up before we get on the trail, and my first dog sighting of the day on the trail. When it's both 1:30 and time for sunglasses, it's a good time. he's rude, I'll tell him. Oh, he's saying hello now. Until this moment, I've never truly understood why people find cows unnerving, but there is something mildly sinister about that. So we've turned into this woodland area, and it's just so nice, the leaves under your foot, the changing colours, just the whole autumn feel at the moment. And as much as we had planned to finish this walk in early September, it's actually worked out really well that we're now, this is the 25th of October, and it really means as we finish this walk across Scotland, we've pretty much covered the 4 seasons. We started it just at the very tail end of winter when there was still frost in the ground, trees were completely bare, all through spring, all through summer, and now finishing up in autumn. And we've been talking a lot about how this walk really covers just the full breadth of Scotland in terms of the scenery, the history, and just how much we've seen and explored. And to get to see that across the seasons has just been such a treat. I mean, look at what we're walking up into, with the leaves all coming down. It's just stunning. It's my favourite time of year. Is if you've watched our Disney videos, you'll know I really love this time of year. What a treat. Everyone, this is not a drill. This is a field of Highland cows. Ah! I wonder if the camera can pick up a gorgeous rainbow to welcome us to this, the final 8 miles. So we stopped for lunch at the Crown and Kitchen, highly recommended stop on the John Muir Way. Then we went home, then we waited 3 weeks, and now we're back in East Linton for the final 8 miles. Potentially in for a gorgeous late autumn, early winter day. Looking forward to this. Feeling almost a little bit emotional as we head into these last 8 miles. Finish this long distance walking trail today. Should be a good day. as much as we have some of our winter gear on, our hats, our gloves, it's actually kind of mild considering we are now mid-November. I think we're looking about 8-9 degrees, something like that today, but it certainly doesn't feel very cold this morning. So I'm glad, because I was tempted to put on my fleece-lined walking trousers this morning, but I would have been melting already. We had quite a late start as well today. The first train that would take us to East Linton wasn't until 9:30 this morning, so we got to have a bit of a later start. We're hoping to get to Dunbar any time from 2 till 2:30, get some lunch in Dunbar, and crucially, the reason we split this one into 2 parts, so that we can go and visit the John Muir birthplace. That's where we're going to pick up our certificate. I'm going to buy some merch, buy some merchandise, but also hopefully get a chance to explore the museum or exhibit section of it and learn a bit more about the man himself. But I'm certainly not in any kind of rush today. It is the final section. Last time we'll be out on this trail, so I want to take my time and enjoy it. Might not film as much today, show you a little bit of the trail as we're walking, and obviously as we come into Dunbar, come across Belhaven Bay, reach the coast again. I'm super excited to get back to the coast again. It's just going to feel like such a perfect way to end this journey, and hopefully if this weather holds, it's going to be an absolutely spot on gorgeous day to finish this trail. Okay, I've been reliably informed we have maybe a mile and a half to go, so I don't think very long to go now. All things aside, despite being mildly suspicious that we might have come off trail, that was a really nice bit just around the edge of the water. I really enjoyed that bit of the walk. I think that's where the wet weather has helped us, because everything was quite packed down at that point, whereas if the sand had been a bit looser, that might have been quite a tough stretch. But it was very pretty, and that's the thing. Obviously this trail, you can walk it in either direction, obviously. If you are coming to do the John Muir Way, I would highly recommend going west to east. The actual journey that you go on when you're travelling in that direction, and the way the landscape changes, I think it's much more dramatic walking west to east and coming into the coastal areas. I appreciate I'm telling you this well in the woods, but generally when you start to hit the east coast or the coastal towns, it just really feels like you have travelled through the landscape. If you were doing it in reverse and starting on the east coast, you would still have all those views. I personally feel that the west coast suffers in comparison. I will say this, when we started in Helensburgh it was very dreich, so maybe that's not a fair comment, but I do think the west to east is much more of a dramatic journey. It's more of a bit of a crescendo of views. Is that fair to?
I think it's moving away from population into country.
Yeah, that's probably a fair thing, that although there's some more remote parts on the western side, it's fewer and further between. There's much more open spaces on this side. But no matter which direction you're travelling in, you're going to have amazing views. Just really pretty scenery, a wide variety of landscapes, cities, countryside, coast. This trail really has something for everyone. We can definitively say it is great for beginners, because we are beginners to long distance walking. We've also done this cut up over, many months, so we have really just come out whenever weather and finances have aligned to let us come out on the trail for the day. You can definitely do it as a multi-day trip, same as the West Highland Way. You can book accommodation and just do it day by day. I can't comment on the wild camping aspect. I have heard people say that this trail isn't as well suited for wild camping as the West Highland Way or the Great Glen Way, for example. But again, I can't really comment on that, because obviously we are returning home at the end of every night, and you'll never catch me in a tent, so it's not really my area of expertise. But when it comes to Scotland's great trails, the West Highland Way is the more famous, the more iconic trail. I have thoroughly enjoyed this trail for the sheer scale of variation in the scenery, and for the sheer amount of history that you're walking through, the sheer amount of Scotland's story that you're walking through, and all the villages and towns that we've been through. I'm genuinely seeing more of Scotland than I have in the rest of my 40 odd years combined.
That's what you've walked through Roman times, you've walked through the witch trials, you've walked through World War II.
Exactly. I mentioned it earlier in this video for us a couple of weeks ago now, but the other thing that I've been really delighted by is the fact that we did start in March, walked through spring, walked through summer, walked through autumn, and now this is really wintry conditions just beginning, albeit a milder winter than we're used to. But if you are watching this and you've never done a trail like this before and you're thinking about it, this is a really great way to do it. Just go out when you can, whenever the occasion calls for it. Go out for the walk, see the country in all its seasons and everything that it has to offer. And we have walked in what I feel is probably every imaginable weather. Just in terms of the landscape, right out in the distance across here with the North Berwick Law, which we walked around on the last section, and looking out towards what I'm pretty sure is Bash Rock. Could be wrong about that. I always get some of the islands around here mixed up. And then I'll try and zoom in, and hopefully you can see the bridge to nowhere. This is us on Belhaven Bay, and that's the bridge to nowhere. So when the tide comes in, that bridge will be completely stranded in the sea until the tide goes back out again. Which is why we're not going onto the bridge, because I am the type of person to have exactly such a calamity happen. So we're just going to carry on right up this way and zoom back out. because we are in Dunbar. Not far now. The official end, I believe, is going to be the John Muir birthplace. So when we get there, we have officially done it. Not long now. I lied. We are going to cross it. The tide is far enough out even for my nervous disposition when it comes to tidal incidents. Oh, tiny shallow steps and one big steep one.
Shall we go and finish?
Let's finish it. Okay, this is it.
Coast to coast.
We did it. 134 miles. Helensburgh in the west to Dunbar here in the east. We have finished. How do you feel?
I feel good. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. We've also had fish and chips as well for some lunch.
That helps.
We did have a wander around the John Muir birthplace, which is also a working museum as well. We'd recommend stop in there if you're in the area and you're interested in learning more about John Muir. It's a fantastic exhibition. We enjoyed some of that. We've grabbed some food, and then we're just going to do a little bit of wandering around as we make our way back to the train station. But as the sun sets here in Dunbar, it also sets on our John Muir Way adventure and on our 2025 vlogging season. This will likely be the last video from us for this year. I hope you have enjoyed coming along on this adventure with us. If you have watched along, whether that is our walking videos, whether it's been our North Coast 500, whether you have been around since our Disney vlogging days, thank you so much for watching and being here on these adventures with us, and maybe we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with